Hey guys, Lewis here with another Soulforge video for Gems of War. It is a brand new week and we have a new event going on as well as new things in the Soulforge, and we also have a new legendary troop, so we're going to go and check out this troop later and try to get it in the event keys. But first of all, let's head over to the Soulforge and see what's in here. Taking a look here at weapons first. And the Golden Sun and this Christ Hook, I don't think are really worth it. The Golden Sun looks a little interesting because it'll eliminate all armor from an enemy. And it gains gold boosted by armor eliminated. But the boost ratio for the gold that you get that's boosted here is 3 to 1. So that's a third of the armor is converted to gold. So that's not, it would be better if it was half probably, or 1 to 1 ratio for sure. But I mean, usually weapons that eliminate all armor are pretty decent. This one I would say is probably a pass. I just don't see that you're going to get that much gold from that, and unless the enemy has really high armor, which you would be going in like a delve with that, which the eliminate all armor is nice, but I really don't know unless you use a gold team in delves, which you got better options, for delves than that. The Christ Hook is just a mana generating weapon for troops of the Leonis Empire. So I would pass on that unless you're trying to collect all of those. But we might get that weapon over in the current event that's going on, so I'll check that out in a little bit. Orpheus Verse. This one is for human allies, and there's a few good humans, so this one you might want to pick up, but that's only if you can afford the 300 diamonds. If you're still newer in the game, I would say pass on this, because it's not, there's much better weapons to get than these kinds of mana generating weapons there. And that's pretty much it for weapons. Let's head over to troops. And I already did take a look at the summoning stones before I started recording the video, and there's nothing really in there this week that I'm going to recommend. So let's head straight to legendary and mythic troops. For legendaries, we have the Silent One, King Mikhail, Magnus, and Ankunum is the legendary troops. So, nothing really amazing here in the legendary troops. King Mikhail is somewhat interesting, but it's kind of, there's a lot of legendary troops that do damage to all enemies that's similar to this. So, I'm going to say it's a pass on all the legendary troops. None of these are troops that I would consider craftable legendaries. You can get these all by opening keys eventually. Alright, now looking at mythic troops, we have Ketras the Bull, we have Voice of Orpheus, Mother of Darkness, and the Scourge of Honor. And I'm going to say number one immediately is Ketras the Bull. Ketras the Bull is still one of the most powerful mythics in the game, in my opinion. Now, it's probably gone a little bit down on the list since they released the Lord of Slaughter and Kurandra, and there's a couple of mythics like that that are pretty powerful now, and that I would say are definitely, the top 10 mythics have probably shifted over the last year, and there's probably some new ones that would be in that list for me. But this one is still, I think I would put Ketras the Bull probably towards the bottom, middle to bottom of a top 10 mythic troop to own. So it's still pretty powerful, and the fact that you can increase its attack power by using the Guardian troops, because there are Guardians that are the same type of troop as this, and since its damage is boosted by its attack, life, and armor, all of that is going to be boosted by those Guardian troops. So Ketras the Bull is definitely still worth picking up, especially if you already have those Guardian troops and have them fully traded, and if they're already ascended to Mythic. If you've done that, Ketras the Bull is going to be really powerful in that sort of team. So he's number one out of this week for me. Now, between Voice of Orpheus, Mother of Darkness, the Scourge of Honor, I would probably say that Scourge of Honor is going to be my number 2 pick, because it deals true damage to all enemies, and it gains 2 mana back for each cursed and diseased enemy. So, there's, plus it also will curse and disease a random enemy on 4 or more gem matches. And so it has a way to increase its mana that it's going to gain back every time you cast it. And as you're matching those four matches and stuff. So it has a little bit of a way to gain some mana back, plus it's doing true damage to all enemies. Mother of Darkness does do true damage, but it's a little different. It does true damage to an enemy and the enemy below them, boosted by purple gems. And if your enemy dies, create 12 purple gems. Otherwise, summon 2 Sisters of Shadows. Now, it does not use purple, and so it's generating purple gems, but it can't use purple. So that's a little bit of a downside to this troop, and it's only doing true damage to 2 enemies, not to the whole entire enemy team. So Scourge of Honor is higher than Mother of Darkness in my opinion. Voice of Orpheus is a support troop, does damage only to 1 enemy, and then it will cleanse all allies, give them all 5 mana. It does cleanse the whole team on matching yellow gems, which can be very useful in some situations. But it is going to be in the last place for me just because damage type troops are always going to rank higher for me than defensive or support troops. So for me, it's Ketras the Bull is number 1, Scourge of Honor is 2, Mother of Darkness is 3, and finally in the last place here is Voice of Orpheus. And that's the order in which I would put the 4 mythics here in the Forge this week. So that's my opinion there on those guys, and let's head over to the shop and check out the new weekly troop. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Spoils of War really quick, grab a few extra event keys that we're going to use to get the new legendary troop. And let's check out the Servant of the Tao. This is an ultra rare troop. Its ability is called Rocky Bite. It will deal 31 damage to an enemy, gain 31 armor boosted by their attack, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio, so that means that it is half of their attack. You will gain armor back boosted by half of the enemy's attack. Also for its traits, it will deal double skull damage to stunned enemies. It reduces damage from skulls by 50%. 12 mana cost. Servant of the Tao. It's not a horrible troop. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just only targets 1 enemy troop there. So I'm going to go ahead and buy enough here to get it to Mythic. We are only getting 1 Arcane Trait Stone for this purchase. So, and it's 300 glory. So I would, in most situations, I just recommend getting probably 1 of these new troops, unless you really need the Arcane Trait Stone that comes with it. But the great deals are when it's 400 glory for 2 Arcane Trait Stones. That's when it's a really good deal. So anyway, moving on there, let's go and check out the new event, and then we'll go ahead and see. Well, first of all, let's grab the legendary, because we might want to use the legendary in this event, because I'm pretty sure it's available for this kingdom that the event's a part of. So I'm going to open 50 at a time. I usually have pretty good luck getting these legendaries. We got Divine Ishbala, the first there. That's a really good legendary. And there we go. I got 2 of them actually here. I only had to open 100 event keys for me to get this. It's called the Regent Caliph. 14 mana cost. Pretty low for a legendary actually for the mana cost there. Let's check out its ability. It's called Book of Secrets. And it gains 4 magic, so that's a constant. And then it either will gain 23 life or deal 23 damage to all enemies, or gain 10 more magic. So it's definitely going to gain 4 magic. And then it has a 1 in 3 chance to do either give itself life, deal damage to all enemies, or gain 10 more magic. And what does it traits do? Traits, it gains 2 bonus gold on 4 or 5 gem matches. Not really a big deal there. Gains 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. That's interesting. So it's basically has the ability to gain a lot of magic for itself. And then it has a 25% chance to summon the Tao when I die. Interesting. I believe the Tao is the new mythic troop available for the campaign. So it has a 25% chance to summon that mythic troop when it dies. That's interesting. Alright, well, I don't know if I'll be able to use it for the current event, but, you know, would I recommend getting this troop? I don't know. I usually don't like troops that have the either or, if, and, or whatever kind of kind of abilities, because it's all random. I like troops that are a little more constant, like you know what they're gonna do. Uh, that's so I don't know. My until I really use that troop, I won't really know for certain if I like it or not. So let's go over here to the shop. I don't think we get that weapon that I was looking at. It doesn't look like it. But we need to get our metal here. And just looking at the tokens, the design for the tokens badge and metal here, it looks like skulls are going to be the damage type. Because they got a skull right inside there. I could be totally wrong on that. But it does look that way to me. What the heck? We got the Gray King, a mythic troop out of the shop. What the hell? What the heck is that kind of luck? Holy smokes. Okay, that totally caught me by surprise. But yeah, okay. This year's been crazy for me. I never used to get any mythics out of these shops, and now this year I think this is the second or third mythic I've got out of these these shops. Like what? Okay, I think I need to just buy this one here, and then I'll get a medal. Oh, we got a legendary King Mikhail. Yep, Medal of Songs. So, but the Great King, wow, man, I got a second copy of him now. I think I only had one copy, so that's awesome, because he's one of my favorite troops. If you guys watch my Guild War videos, you guys know, the Great King is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so it is skull, but it's also spell damage. I like that. So we can build a team that's either skulls or spell. And it looks like the troop restriction is just color this time, where it's not restricted to a troop type or a kingdom. So that's cool. We're restricted to blue and yellow mana. So any kind of troops that have those colors, we can build a team around it. So, and it looks like the weapons are the same. Dawnbringer should be available. Dancing Daggers is available. Doomed Blade, Doomed Axe, Orb of Winter. There's some decent weapons here that are available to use, so that's cool. Jar of Eyes is in here. We could use that for some mana generation. If we wanted to focus on blue, some blue troops. But I want to see what kind of troops here we got. So, what's going to be good and what's not going to be good? Who knows? We got Mistralis in here. Pan is pretty good. There's a lot of good mythic troops here we could use. But what legendaries do we have? Oh, we're still in mythics. Okay, Lord of the Slaughter, the Great King can be used. I don't know. There's a lot here. The Possessed King is available. Worldbreaker, TNE. Lots of stuff here to use. You could use Zul'Goth in there. Kind of excessive, but that is a option. And it does create skulls, so, you know, if you have him, that'd probably be a good troop there. But, and we got Chief Dargon, and this guy adds attack to all allies, so that's kind of, like, awesome. And we got Gorgatha. We could do that for mana gen. King Gabtruffle is available because he is blue, and that means Queen Beatrix is as well. That means we can do some awesome damage. We got Luna in here too, which is crazy. So, yeah, there's some crazy stuff here. We got Laraiza here for purple, blue storm. We got Orrery here for a star storm, which star storm I believe is purple and yellow. I think. I had to check on that. We also have Queen Xochi here, which is pretty cool because it does damage to all enemies, and then if there's a storm, it explodes 5 gems. That's cool. Plus, we have we should have Harpy Mage in here too. So that's awesome. And you got Tesla. Dude, there's so many good troops here that we could use. It's crazy. We got Ulf Harrigan, which is an awesome newer legendary. The last new legendary before this legendary. Does true damage to 3 random enemies. That's pretty cool. And you got Tink Steam Whistle, which has an Electro Storm, which I believe an Electro Storm is blue and yellow gems. And that are the 2 colors that we're using. Plus, this thing gives armor and life to all allies, boosted by red gems. So that's pretty awesome. I might throw that one in there. And King Gub Truffle. We need some kind of exploder. Web Spinner, we could throw that dude up in the top spot, but he's going to block the mana for King Gab Truffle. But imagine, like, okay, we're already doing 160 spell damage, right? Extra percent of spell or skull damage. And this thing does triple skull damage with poison webbed enemies. Oh, the damage, skull damage with this guy would be insane in this event. So, let's see. We need some good, like, yellow troops because Tink Steam Whistle. We could use Luna because Luna, I mean, really, there's a lot of them. Vanyu here is pretty good, too, for doing damage to all enemies. And we got this that does damage to all enemies, and then it also Fairy Fires at the start of its turn, so that's awesome. That's actually pretty awesome, too. And then we could go ahead and, I don't know, we're running out of room here, because I kind of wanted to, you know, Luna's an option in here, too. And this thing actually explodes a random gem when matching yellow. And it adds status effects and all that. But the Fairy Fire does an extra 50% spell damage, and then on top of the... I wonder if that's is going to stack on top of the 160% spell damage. It could. That would be pretty cool. So maybe I'll keep that in there, and then we'll go with a class, and I think the storm is Electro Storm is yellow and blue, and the thing with weapon here is we're restricted to those yellow and blue, so doesn't have to be exactly those 2, but I'm thinking... Well, it's kind of like I want a mana generator in there. I mean, we kind of do with this, but at the same time, I'm like, you know. Like, is there... well, we have Anu Scepter, but it's going to block King Gab Truffle. The Truffle Stuffle. But I want something that's... Honestly, we could... wait a minute here. We actually have the Elemental... Arboreal Crystal thing, which is pretty good if we're going to go an Elemental team. We could do that. But, I do not know what to do here. Let's see. It really doesn't matter here which one I do. And this is Elemental. This is Wild Folk. Kind of want to start with 50% mana or have some kind of generator. Let's see what other generators are for this. It's too bad Leprechaun is not available. Otherwise, we got some trolls. Well, there's Harpy Mage in here, like I said. Which... I wonder if the storm, though, that it creates is going to be... I have no idea. Anyway, I'm trying to level up the Slayer class now. So I'm going to equip that just for leveling purposes. Banner, since we're going blue, yellow. Those are the colors. Blue is probably more important, honestly, because, I mean, King Gab Truffle is gonna, I mean, it's an awesome troop, but I might switch it up a little bit, just because, we'll go with that, I guess, and, I mean, yeah, we'll see. There's way better teams I could put together than this. We do have the Potion of Explosion enchantment. Yeah, we finally got that powered up. Ah, it's not, what, is the Electro Storm yellow and red? Is it? I thought Electro Storm was yellow and blue for some reason. No, it's yellow and red. Huh. Interesting. Well, I stand corrected. So, if we didn't want to do that, we could go for... let's see. What a storm can we do? What was, well, this is blue and purple. What is this one? I'm curious, because this is a star storm. Is this the one that's yellow and blue? Let's see what storm the star storm is. Or is it yellow and purple? That's what I thought it was. Yes, yeah, I'm actually right on this one. It is yellow and purple. Interesting. So we're not using purple, so I don't need that. Let's see what other storm troops are in here. Oh, we got finesse troops that are yellow. That's gonna like do so much damage. Wow. Interesting. We might not even need the storm. We could do finesse troops in here. And then Harpy Mage. Queen Xochi might be a good one to throw in here. Wish I had a better mana generator for, wait a minute. Maybe I do have a Strix weapon mana generator. Do I? Probably doesn't have those colors. Or maybe it's for the kingdom and not for the, Huh. I thought I had a weapon that was for that. Maybe it's not the right colors. But, I mean, Dawnbringer is fine. It's just like I'm looking for maybe a different weapon here that I can use. Could do something like that. We could do yellow and brown since Xochi's at the top. We could make Xochi down a little bit, but I mean, the good thing about finesse though too is it's going to give 6 mana to all enemies. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different teams that we could come up with this, and we have skull and spell damage, so it's pretty awesome all the way around. Every time I use this, of course, it's gonna give 6 mana to all other allies, which is pretty awesome. And if we get a 4-gem match or more, it's going to increase all the skills on the other ones. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so like there's... after this battle, I'll probably try to come up with a skull team just to see what we got available for that. Because that could be fun too. Although I think spell team is probably going to be a little quicker. Probably. yeah, let me modify this and let's see what we can do with a skull team. So we do have Lord of Slaughter in here. That's available. You got Iron Hawk, but that's not really necessarily a skull troop per se. It's a little different. So let's see. For skulls, we have Lord of Slaughter. And we could boost our attack damage with either Chief of Dargon or there's Luther. Luther's in here too. But this is sort of like a mana generator, so I think I will do that. And then we'll probably put Lord of Slaughter underneath that. And then what other troops do we have here for making skulls? Let's see here. Well, the Infernal King does, but it converts green gems to skulls. And Keelan does brown gems to skulls. It converts purple gems to red. But it uses the same color as Chief of Dargon. That's going to mana block. We have Scylla, which will create a Bone Storm on 4 or 5 gem matches. That's pretty cool. And we could do that. We also have this one. Convert purple gems to yellow. Green gems to skulls. And then deal spell damage. So we could do this. That's our brown. And I don't know what to do for my weapon. Because blue, it has to have blue, or the only thing here is purple. So if we have purple added into there, that would be what we're looking for. Let's see, what do we have available? Well, Festival Staff. Create 15 red and green gems, enchant 2 random allies. We could do that because this takes green and Chief Dargon and Lord Slaughter take red. We could do that sort of weapon. That might be interesting. There's also Prism Staff. Choose a color, remove all gems that color, deal scatter damage boosted by gems. It's not really that great. Of course, you could use this for more mana generation. The Prismatic Orb. The Prismatic Orb. Yeah, I don't know. But there's options, which is the important thing, is that we have a lot of options we can use for making teams now. I like that they chose to boost both spell and skull damage with the metal. And we're going to do that. Yeah, generate some mana and a bunch of skulls. And this is actually powered up again. We can just connect a skull and nail that. But the great thing about Chief Dargon, and it's an underworld troop, but I think it's pretty easy to get. And the really nice thing about that is that it's increasing the attack of all the troops below it. And with the metal that we have equipped, we're already doing 160% extra skull damage. Yeah, I don't really have anything that connects that, so we'll just do this and that. Give ourselves a little armor. Maybe some mana there. And this guy's all powered up, which that does awesome skull damage. So if you wanted to go with skulls this time around, you can make up a skull team. If you want to do spell damage, you can make a spell team. I like having those options instead of just like If you just do like a skull metal, then it really limits your choices, especially because some kingdoms don't even have a skull troop in them. And there's not much brown on the board either. Let's do this. Increase our attack a little bit again. And we don't really have any brown there. I don't know. Let's do this. Got a little bit of skull damage there. Let's do this. Increase our attack again. We got some brown that lined up. That's nice. Yeah, alright guys, that's all I have for you in this week's Soulforge video. Lots of fun that you can have with this event, building teams for either spell damage or skull damage. So have some fun out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.